Hi, Sleep Well, Live Well Facebook community. I want to talk about hormones and how they affect our sleep today. It's a little bit in-depth conversation, but I hope it will be really helpful and explain some things. Now, this is applicable for men and women, but for women especially, I hear a lot of times that yes, it probably is my hormones that are affecting my sleep. They are out of whack. And so if you're having other symptoms like PMS symptoms or, perimenopause symptoms of hot flashes and night sweats, things like that, then that's definitely a sign that your hormones are out of whack. So before I get into the hormones, I just want to start by telling you how I've noticed that they affect my sleep. So my insomnia actually started in late pregnancy, which I knew was hormones, and I figured there was pretty much nothing I could do about it. And I think that's still pretty true. Just our estrogen and progesterone levels drop so low during pregnancy that it definitely affects our sleep. But even after I had a baby, my son was sleeping, I still wasn't sleeping. And once I took the adult sleep certification class and figured out my sleep, I started sleeping great pretty much every night. But for a few months there, after I improved my sleep, I would notice that I'd have a random night of not sleeping, just being awake in the middle of the night for a while. And I noticed that I would get my period the next day. And so I just started to accept the fact that that's how it was. Luckily, it was usually only one night, and it was pretty regularly every month. And that's since gone away as my sleep has improved even more. So, possibly getting more sleep has helped rebalance my hormones. And so I don't really experience that as much. But if I do, at least I know what it is. So that's the cool thing about figuring out your sleep. So let's get into these actual hormones. I'm going to start with the reproductive hormones, and these do apply to men as well as women. So we all have estrogen, we all have progesterone, we all have testosterone. Of course, women are going to have much higher levels of progesterone and estrogen, and men will have much higher levels of testosterone. But they can still affect how we sleep for both men and women. So estrogen does have other functions besides just for reproduction. It allows your body to use serotonin. It increases your bone formation, and it can even help to support your skin. So that's why men and women have these hormones, because they have other functions besides just reproduction. Now, when your levels do drop at the start of your menstrual cycle, it can affect your sleep by decreasing REM sleep. And during perimenopause, when your levels drop, that can cause the night sweats and hot flashes and muscle and joint pain, which of course can affect your sleep. It also doesn't help that estrogen affects how your body uses magnesium, an important mineral for sleep. And as estrogen levels increase during ovulation, we tend to be less sleepy and can have troubles falling asleep. So depending on where you are in your cycle, on where you are in your life stage, when your estrogen levels drop or increase, then it can have a big effect on our sleep. Now, progesterone also has some other functions besides just for reproduction. It's also important for healthy brain function, and it's been shown to have a natural anti-anxiety effect. So not having enough of this could also cause some anxiety. So if that's a symptom of yours, then it could be from your hormones being imbalanced as well. So it's believed that progesterone can help you fall asleep faster and experience fewer sleep disruptions. But when levels drop too low, it can affect your sleep and cause you to wake up in the night. Now, the next one I want to talk about is testosterone. Low levels of testosterone for both men and women can affect your sleep, since it's been shown that our testosterone levels are highest during REM sleep. And this can easily become a vicious cycle because not getting enough REM sleep, excuse me, can impact your testosterone levels. And then those low testosterone levels can cause insomnia. So again, it's always about balance. Now, when I talked about blood sugar a couple weeks ago, I already covered insulin and being on that blood sugar roller coaster and how that affects your sleep. But I'll talk about it briefly here. If you're eating too many refined carbohydrates and refined sugars and you're spiking your blood sugar all the time, then you're going to get on this blood sugar roller coaster where you eat something that spikes your blood sugar, your body produces insulin to lower that blood sugar. Insulin is an inflammatory hormone, and so then your body releases cortisol to deal with the inflammation from insulin, because cortisol is an anti-inflammatory hormone. And so then if you're on this roller coaster during the day, then you're also going to experience this in the night. And when your blood sugar levels drop too low in the night, that's going to cause cortisol to be released because your body needs energy and it's telling you that it's hungry, and you're going to be awake. So that is how insulin affects our sleep, mainly through cortisol. And then if you've listened to anything I've done before, you already know that cortisol suppresses melatonin, which is our sleepy hormone. So if you're waking up in the night for any reason, including these unbalanced hormones, your body is producing cortisol, suppressing melatonin. It's going to make it really hard to go back to sleep. Now I'll talk about the thyroid, and I'm actually going to get into this in detail next week. So I'm not going to get into it too much here, but both hypo and hyperthyroid issues can cause sleep disturbances. So stay tuned for next week to talk about that a lot more. Now, all of our hormones, these steroid hormones, are made from cholesterol. Cholesterol then makes pregnenolone, and then the other hormones, all of our other hormones are produced. So we need cortisol, but if you constantly need cortisol from either inflammation or from constantly being in fight or flight mode and being under stress, then your body's going to put all of its resources into making cortisol for as long as it can, and it's going to affect how much resources it has to make your other hormones. So I'm going to put if I can, I'm going to put just a little picture showing you this, just showing how the hormones are made and kind of the pathways they go through to get made. But the idea is that we want to have enough resources to make all of our hormones. And if some of our other hormones are too low because we're constantly producing cortisol to deal with stress and inflammation, then we're not going to have enough resources to make those other hormones, and it's totally going to affect our sleep in so many ways because we have too much cortisol, first of all, and we don't have enough of our other hormones, second of all. So this is why I love what's called a Dutch complete test. So this is a certain lab test that I do with my clients. And it actually, so regular blood test can tell you what hormones are in the bloodstream, but they don't show you how they're metabolized. And this Dutch test does just that. It shows us how they're metabolized so we can see what's truly going on in your body. That's all I have today about hormones. Definitely let me know if you have any questions. If you are interested, if you think your hormones are out of balance and you're interested in learning more and more about this Dutch test, it is a really cool test that gives us a lot of answers. Definitely feel free to get in touch. I hope you have a great day.